From the dungeons of Morningstar, I'm Clint.
And I'm Stretch, and this is Prevailing Strange.
So, mate, how's your week been?
Not too bad. It's a bit of a mind fuck. I think last week's episode's audio was a bit woeful. I've been trying to figure that out. So hopefully this week is a lot better.
Well, it's always sounded great to us.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Headset's great.
Yeah, but it's just when it gets into the computer, it's a little bit woeful.
Learning curves, friend. Learning curves. Actually, before we go any further, can I give a massive shout out for a second?
Sure.
Happy birthday, Logan James Morningstar. Love you, big buddy.
Happy birthday, dude. This week, Invincible wrapped up. Last episode was last night.
Dude.
We'll have a chat about that in a little bit. Did you get around to watching Daredevil episode 3?
Not episode 3, no.
Oh, okay. We won't talk about that this week then.
However, I have, for the first time in a long time, I audibly screamed and cheered at the TV at Invincible yesterday. Incredible.
Invincible is incredible.
Incredible is Invincible.
Yeah, something like that. You've got a few new movies coming out that you want to talk about?
I do.
There's a few things to cover. We're just going to shoot the shit and see what comes out.
The something that really grabbed my attention was the Lanterns image that they put up.
The HBO series.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. Not much hit and miss on HBO. It's
all pretty good. It was the whole Grizzly Hal Jordan, like he's been around for a time.
Yep.
And the young John Stewart. The image really, I'm liking it.
Yeah, and I was reading about it today. They are liking it to a True Detective type feel. Another great show that was on HBO.
Yeah.
It's got big boots to fill if it wants to be in that kind of...
Well, the first season of True Detective is still one of the best seasons of television you'll ever see.
Some of the best television
Incredible.
ever.
Yeah. The whole small town, non-intergalactic sort of version of it, I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah.
The whole fact that it's going to be a crime and they're just two lanterns investigating, I'm excited.
On the image, I think it's pretty interesting that Hal Jordan, the ring doesn't look like it's quite on his finger. It looks like he's just kind of holding it.
No, well, there is a zoomed-in image and it is on his finger, but you don't see John Stewart ring yet.
I was going to say that, yeah. Yeah, so do you think it might be a bit of a mystery kind of / origin story for John Stewart?
I think so. I think it's going to be Hal Jordan. He's getting to the end of it. He's had a gutful. He's ready to put his ring away, and John Stewart being the young, he's a bit of a different lantern than Hal.
Yep.
He's a bit more straight edge. He's the actor that they've chosen for it. Have you seen his other movie, Rebel Ridge?
Which one's that? Hal Jordan's?
No. John Stewart.
John Stewart's actor.
Yeah.
Aaron Pierre.
Yeah. Absolutely check it out.
Yep.
He is just captivating in it.
Yeah, okay.
Very straight. It's very John Stewart. The whole role is very John Stewart. Just no bullshit.
Yep. And
he's like, it's my way. Leave me alone or I'll destroy you.
Yeah, right.
It's good.
I was just thinking about Kyle Chandler, the actor who's playing Hal Jordan in this.
Yeah, he's been in some shit.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, man.
Whenever I see him, I can't help but think about, did you ever watch Early Edition in the late 90s?
No.
It was a great TV show, in my opinion. Strange kind of concept. He'd get tomorrow's paper every morning.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is back when newspapers were a big thing. And, often he'd go out and save little, people and do little things that...
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it was really good. It was, I've never watched it since it came out. It could be fucking horrible to go back and watch it again, but...
What I want to know is, why are people sending the newspaper, not the lotto numbers? Rude.
Yeah.
Inconsiderate.
Yeah. Well, I think they did wrap it up. There was a reason why he was getting it and everything. They didn't just... It wasn't one of those shows that just ended with no explanation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That might be worth doing a dive into again sometime, if I ever find time.
There's a show that I wanted to actually reminded me of that. It was, you know, the original Mr. Fantastic out of the Fox's Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
I forget his name. Anyway, he was in a show where he was immortal.
Right.
And a person that he helped raise when he was younger is now an old man, and it's like his offsider who owns an antique shop. And they go around solving crimes. It was only out for one season.
You don't remember what it was called?
No.
Yeah, see, if you told me the name, I'd probably remember it. There was a fair few cool shows back in the 90s and early 2000s that I'd like to watch again. There was another one called Mysterious Ways. Did you ever watch that?
No.
He was a professor at a university, and he was kind of checking out local and like national cryptid sightings and the unexplained, and going around and debunking most of them. But it was a pretty fun show to watch back then.
The show was called Forever, but it only aired for one season. It was really, Branchy actually told me about it. I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
Just a really original concept of a show, and you reminded me of it straight away when you said early edition. I might have to actually give that a watch.
If you can find it.
I've got my ways.
Yeah.
Did you see that they cast Sinestro?
No.
I was concerned about having Sinestro, being as though his story is very galactic, very space-ridden, and that they've cast Sinestro in this show.
Yep.
So I wonder if it's just going to be like a flashback to when Hal was doing his whole intergalactic policeman sort of shit.
Yeah, well, especially if it's supposed to be kind of a dark, grounded series. Yeah, I don't know. Well, time will tell.
I am excited for it. Like the Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan was just Ryan Reynolds playing Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds in everything.
Yeah.
The whole thing, that could have been a far better movie if they just didn't rely on all the CG garbage and that stupid cloud at the end.
Yeah.
This here, being more grounded, and it looks a lot more grisly and more. I think it's going to just be a really, really awesome show, dude. And the fact that it's been handed over by Peter Safran and James Gunn, I think it's just going to be a good thing.
Yeah. Speaking about HBO series, The Last of Us season 2 comes out on the 13th.
Have you played the second game?
I've never played the games.
Bro, the first game is transcendent. My friend Hemi put me onto it and said, you have to play it. I never played it until probably a year ago. I was actually playing it whilst the show was airing.
Right, yep.
Amazing. Incredible. The whole adaptation of it was meant for TV.
Yep.
The second game is just a kick in the teeth, and a lot of fans ride it. They didn't ride, but they hated it.
Yeah, right.
I'm still in the middle of playing it. I want to finish it before the second season comes out, just to see. Hopefully, they change it up a little bit.
Yeah, right. So, is the second game the last game, or is there a third game?
It is the last game, but I think they're making a sequel to the second game.
I think I saw that they're making a third game, but it actually won a fair few awards.
So many.
The second game, yeah.
They've just remastered both games, and it's available on Steam, PlayStation 5, Xbox, blah blah blah. But the gameplay is sensational. The story, it gets a bit muddy in the second one, a bit convoluted. But the first one is just so, dude. It's an almost perfect game, and I think the ratings of that actually show that it is top tier.
You got to love a good story-driven game.
Mm-hmm. You get a PlayStation 4, don't you?
I do, but it's usually used to play DVDs. It's fucking
dude. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
You would love that.
Yeah, okay.
You would love it. It's one of the. It's not one of the most. It is the most beautiful game you can watch. Just the cinematography of it is incredible. It's like in feudal Japan. You play as a samurai. He's got his whole life's been wiped out by Mongolians, and it's just him trying to get to the person who betrayed his Lord and all that. Beautiful game.
Right.
Fantastic game.
As it is with a lot of things in life, I don't have the time to do most of them.
And now we've just started doing this.
Yeah.
So less time.
Exactly right. Another movie that's coming out that you wanted to talk about, Novocaine, with Jack Quaid, and she has a really cool name. She was in Prey.
That chick deserves all the chops, man. She was incredible in Prey.
Yeah.
That reinvigorated the Predator franchise for me.
Amber Midthunder.
That's
Cool
badass.
Yeah,
it's like Moon Bloodgood.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
Dude, she was awesome in Terminator. But yeah, Jack Quaid at the moment, he's kicking ass, man.
For a Nepo baby.
Yeah, for a Nepo baby. The Boys just really has just launched him into the stratosphere, and I think it's been so good. He's funny as hell and charming as shit.
I do like the play on words for Novocaine. Nathan Kane, I think his name is. Nathan Kane feels no pain.
Yeah.
And that's a general idea of the movie. He's one of these people born with congenital insensitivity to pain. I believe that's what the condition's called. They basically do not feel pain.
That'd be nice because I hate getting tattooed, man. I hate it. Hurt so much.
The girl of his dreams gets kidnapped, and pretty much he does what he needs to do to get her back.
Dude, they're marketing it as like a crank movie.
Yep.
But it's just it's going to be off its dick. But the whole thing with that poor bastard can't hold a woman.
Yeah.
The first episode of The Boys,
Gone.
Just classic.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes out on the 3rd of April.
Holy shit, that come around quick.
Yeah. 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Already? It hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'll be the professional critic reviews.
Oh, they would have already seen the screeners and shit,
the premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
The people who don't like movies, that just criticise everything about them, they get to see it first. Pieces of shit.
That's right. There's a sci-fi thriller coming out shortly called Ash. Have you seen the trailer?
No, have not.
Isa Gonzalez stars in it. She's the main character who wakes up and everyone's dead. She's trying to figure shit out. And then Aaron Paul rocks up out of nowhere.
Oh, I like Aaron Paul.
There's a lot of visuals of her outside of her base on this planet. A bit of ash fall, but there's kind of these geometric shapes pulsing in the sky and then...
Tripping balls?
Yeah, I think so. Very visceral looking kind of action.
Yeah, right.
And it looks like some kind of psychological
right.
fun.
I'll have to watch that. I'll have to watch that trailer when we finish here. But dude, I back in the day when I was a movie pirate, they used to have like the Apple. You used to go to the Apple website, and they'd have all the trailers for the next 12 to 18 months come out, and you could just scroll and watch all these trailers. Man, I used to spend hours on there just watching trailers. I might have to get into doing that again because trailers are sick.
They are sick. I think they should have their own category in the Emmys if they don't.
Oh, dude, the people you got to try to in a 2-minute 20 clip. You've got to sell a movie
without giving it away. And
majority of the time they've only shot a quarter of the film.
Yeah.
Special effects aren't finished. They're brushed together. And you've got to sell this film to the masses.
Yeah.
You deserve some recognition, dude.
You do. I think I just saw there was the second trailer for Thunderbolts come out, and it had a completely different feel to the first trailer. Like, are they...
You're still guessing about what's going to happen in this movie.
Yeah, it had a very, I wouldn't say Woody Allen, but had a kind of art housey look to it.
Yeah.
Which was pretty interesting. Whether that tone reflects in the movie or not, who fucking knows?
I still don't know what is going to happen in this movie, dude. Yeah. I don't know who the villain is. I don't know who the... Speaking of trailers, I heard a theory today.
Yep.
Put a pin in the Thunderbolts for a second.
Yeah.
Dude, John Malkovich, you know how last week we were trying to figure out who John Malkovich is?
Yep.
Franklin Richards.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was brought up the theory on First Steps.
Yeah.
Being not actually the fact that
It's
as
not
a
Fantastic
team,
Four's first steps.
not their first steps, that it probably is alluding to the first steps of Franklin Richards,
Yeah.
who is their first child, which would kind of make sense in the name in the same way they did with Homecoming and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I had seen that on Comic Book Movie yesterday afternoon.
Right.
And I'm like, whew, that's a hot take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, either Doom or Franklin Richards.
I
could
don't
take
care
that.
who it is.
Yeah.
John Malkovich is the king. He made me excited for a bloke who picks his nose.
You know you're a good actor when you can do that.
Dude, because I love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. When he was cast as Hummer Kavula, I'm like, yeah.
I've still only ever read the first book.
Dude.
I haven't read the rest of them.
Yeah.
Are they as good as the first one?
Look, the first book, the movie is 3 books.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's 3 different books. And the movie is still one of my guilty pleasures, man. It's one of my favourite movies of all time.
I don't see why that would be a guilty pleasure. It was a great movie.
It's such a good movie. And, dude, Alan Rickman, one of the greatest actors that ever lived, playing a depressed robot, just absolutely slayed it.
Yeah.
And it just made you... I love that movie. And Sam Rockwell in it is just absolute gold as the president. And it's... I love that movie. There's nothing I can say bad about it, except that they didn't make sequels.
Wasn't long enough.
No.
Yeah. That's something I'll have to dive into, finishing those off, because was it the trilogy of 5? I think it's 5 books. Yeah.
Trilogy of 5, exactly.
Yeah.
But, what's his name? Stephen Fry narrates them. So they're just so digestible. You just don't want to turn your phone off when you're listening to it.
Easy listening.
Oh, he's so good.
I won't go spoiling the end of Daredevil for you, because you haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
But
they're saying that they're going to hold off on Frank Castle to next season. But we see at the end of episode 2, the blood hit the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Them cops, one of them for sure doesn't walk away. Is this they were teasing like a courtroom procedural when it went over to Disney, and is this going to be where the courtroom procedural comes in because they're going to arrest Matt Murdock and he's going to have to do the Born Again storyline from where he was charged with murder and he had to defend himself in the court of law? Is this what they're getting around to? And because when you look at the trailer for this season of, well, the first season of Born Again, but the 4th season of Daredevil, when you watch the trailer and he's talking to Frank Castle, it looks like they're in jail.
It does, yeah. There's going to be something that you see in the 3rd episode, which I think will steer away from that idea that you just had about the Matt Murdock having to defend himself.
Right.
That could still come up, but I think it will steer away from that.
Dude, there's 18 episodes.
18?
18 episodes in this season.
I mean, surely we're going to
There has to be a break.
There'll be a break, yeah. But surely we're going to see Frank Castle rock up at some point.
Yeah.
Because he has his own special coming out. That's just been announced on Disney+.
Yep.
So special is not quite a movie, not quite an episode. Kind of like what they did with Werewolf by Night.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Did you watch the colour version as well?
No, I haven't.
Don't.
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the black and white.
The black and white was it was so engrossing.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, very kind of felt like Sin City.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah. And Vincent Price, very Vincent Price, like back in the day, like so well done.
Yeah,
so well done.
I think you would lose some of the contrast of some of the shots that if you went to watch the colour version.
Exactly right. You're really taken out of the. You're taken out of the story, even because I watched the black and white version first. I just wish they didn't release the coloured version. Now, Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut, complete opposite.
Yeah.
You don't make Superman and Wonder Woman black and white. There's no point.
Yeah. Was that black and white, or was there a black and white version as well?
There was a black and white version.
Yeah.
You released that after the coloured version,
Yeah.
like the Zack Snyder cut, but there was no need.
Yeah, I don't see the reason why you would do that. I didn't watch that one.
Yeah.
That movie was probably an hour longer than it ever needed to be, but
Yeah. It could have been 2 movies.
it could have been.
Easily.
There was a lot of stuff he threw in there just because he could.
Just because it was filmed, he's like, they've given us $1 million. Let's do this.
The singing by the sea scene was trash.
Dude. Yeah.
Like, why?
What? He's gone. Why are you singing? He can't hear you.
Yeah. There was a lot of scenic shots that...
And a lot of slow-mo shots too that weren't needed.
No.
Zack Snyder needs to dial it back on the slow-mo.
Yeah.
And J.J. Abrams needs to back off with the lens flare.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like a good lens flare, though. As long as it's... I mean, he does it in every movie, but as long as it's only key moments. Yeah.
Have you not seen Star Trek?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity for lens flare in Star Trek.
In Star Trek, yeah, there's a lot of screens, a lot of polished stuff. But I love Star Trek. I thought that was just sensational. Even if you didn't like the original season, the original series.
Well, see, the difference is I enjoy it for its own thing.
Yeah.
Where I used to like watching Star Trek. But it's very different to kind of watch. It's a very philosophical type show. I never sat down and watched it religiously. It was only background filler.
Yeah.
A lot of those episodes are just silly.
Trash.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's like they say about Doctor Who. They're like, greatest TV, longest running TV show, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've never watched a single episode.
I watched it as a kid up until the hiatus.
Yeah,
and
right.
then never watched it after it came back.
Well, David Tennant,
Yep.
they reckon is like top tier Doctor.
Yep.
So I think I want to watch his version of the Doctor.
Oh, man. I think if you were to dive into just to watch one Doctor, you're going to be fucking confused.
Really?
Oh, dude, there's so much going on in that show. So much meta. And, like, even just some of the bad guys that they've reused the exact same costumes back from the early days.
Okay.
So they look like shit costumes for these aliens back then.
Yeah.
They've just reused them.
Fantastic.
They haven't redesigned them. Like the Daleks and the spacemen or whatever those robots are called, they all look horrendous. They probably looked great back in the 70s
But
when
they've
it came
just
out.
pulled it out because we're like, guys, we can save some money here.
I don't think it's that. I just don't think they want to kind of...
It's like in Firefly. Can you ever remember Firefly?
Yeah.
Where all the costumes are from Starship Troopers?
Starship Troopers, yeah.
They're like, we'll just paint them purple.
Yeah, fantastic.
2 epic space operas.
Oh, yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, wasn't Starship Troopers something different when it came out?
Oh, dude. The thing is, though, with Starship Troopers, you watch the first one, and the special effects, you're like, this is sick. And then you watch the sequel.
Well, that's the problem. You watch the sequel.
The sequel looked like it was made on MS Paint.
Yeah, I didn't watch
It
it.
was tragic.
Yeah.
And then they brought back Casper Van Diem, and he done, I think it was the third one. It was even worse. And this was like, we're talking 12 years later.
Yeah.
Technology has come a long way. They're like, the first one made all the money. It's a cult classic. We could invest. No. They're like, here you go, mate. Here's a pack of Winnie Reds and a packet of chewing gum. Make it work. And they're like, this is what we got.
Trash.
Absolute garbage.
Yeah, okay. I wonder what they based that on, because, like, the first movie was based on the book, but at the same time, it wasn't a direct adaptation either, because they had that whole kind of procedural kind
Would
of
you like to know more?
documentary, mockumentary type thing going on with it. And I think that made the movie.
Yeah. The cuts to the school kids just holding onto these massive rifles and these big arms as they're stomping on these bugs, and the teacher's like,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? But I'll still rewatch Starship Troopers all the time. So good.
Not one of the best, but it definitely a rewatchable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me mate Solomon's got actually the tattoo. The Roughnecks tattoo.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, that's so good.
not everybody would get it.
No.
And the people that get it would probably love it.
Yeah, I love it, dude. And it's so well done.
Yeah.
It's so good.
We were speaking about the Punisher and John Barenthal.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
He's writing the special. Speaking about John, have you seen he's in The Accountant too?
Well, yeah, he was in the original one, so I'm glad he's coming back for that. But did you also see that him and not our OG Punisher, but my Punisher, Thomas Jane,
yeah.
they were at the firing range, and it's just the two Punishers walking around with these guns, man, just doing target practice and shit and just walking around having a good time. I'm like, multiverse.
That's sick. Yeah, I don't remember him being in the first Accountant.
Yeah, it was Ben Affleck's brother at the end.
Yeah. It's been a minute since I watched it. But
another great movie that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Had no right to be as good as it was, but it was so good.
Yeah. But it looks like he plays a much bigger part in this one.
Right.
Much bigger role. It looks like a fun ride.
I really, really, really enjoyed the first movie. And when you go to The Accountant, it's like, oh, The Pianist.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? And I'm like, do I really want to watch this guy playing with calculator? And it's like, Ben Affleck is The Accountant. I'm like, ooh, let's watch the trailer. And then it was just violence. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
Dude.
Had a very particular way about just slaying people.
Yeah. And like in the orphanage he grew up in, his handler is actually the chick who he first met when he was put into the orphanage, and she's non-verbal, but she talks to a computer.
Yep.
And they're both just these absolute geniuses in their field and what they're doing. I'm like, okay, I can dig this.
Good stuff.
The whole coming back to the Lanterns, which is where we started with this little conversation. Is his name Chandler?
I believe so, yeah, Cole Chandler.
Cole Chandler. He's always sort of had a real punchable face to me. It's sort of weird.
Yeah, no, I get that, yeah.
And when you see him he's in Godzilla.
He is?
I didn't mind his character in that. So when they go, Cole Chandler is Hal Jordan, I'm like, he's fucking old. What are we going to do with that?
It would be cool to see washed up Hal Jordan.
Exactly. And then when I see, John Stewart's going to be the Lantern, Hal Jordan's going to be teaching the ropes, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I can deal with that because you got Hal Jordan, who's the quippy, witty little fucking smart ass, and then you've got John Stewart, who's almost like the polar opposite. Mm-hmm. And I think the guy they cast, man, is legit. He's got chops. You need to watch Rebel Ridge. I recommend it to anyone.
Yep.
It's also got the bloke of the OG Hawaii Five-0. Can't remember his name. But he was also in Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. And he's just a corrupt cop. He's a bit of a douchebag. And it's good. And it's Aaron Pierre just kicking the snot out of police and disarming them in the most amazing ways.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's just there to chill out, relax. He wants to quieten down a bit, but he's one of the most special ops Marines that have ever been trained, and he actually trains all the other Marines.
Right.
So it's all these unarmed tactics and unarmed shit. So he doesn't kill anyone in the whole thing, but he just beats the snot off people. And it was a good watch. So, yeah, Rebel Ridge, give it a go.
Kind of sounds like, but not the same as a lot of Jason Statham movies.
Yeah.
Like he's got, what's the one that's coming out at the moment? Working Man.
Beekeeper. The Mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a hard man has a random job and throw him into this situation where he kicks everyone's ass for some reason.
The Beekeeper. Who the hell put that? Who pitched that? We've got a movie.
I'm not even sure. Is he a legit beekeeper in the movie, or is it some kind of play?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't watched it because it's titled The Beekeeper. And I watched this chick on the YouTube who saves the bees. And that's all she does is goes around and gets all these bees nests that are under people's floorboards and walls and shit.
Yep.
Gets them out by hand, just picks them up, and I'm like, you fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this what he's going to be doing, just going around collecting stuff? But apparently it's quite violent, so I might have to give it some time.
You're pretty much guaranteed for violence whenever Jason Statham's in a
Considering
movie.
He started life as a ballet dancer.
No, he was a high diver.
Oh, that's right.
Olympic high diver. Yeah.
That's right. And soccer player. Oh, no, that was Vinnie Jones. And they had to kick him out.
Yeah, because he was too rough.
Too fine.
Yeah. Lucy in it.
Oh, shit. Get me Brits mixed up.
It is pretty funny to see the old footage of Jason Statham doing the high dive, all the acrobatics in it.
I have not seen him do it.
Yeah.
Jason Statham, Jeremy.
What did I say?
Statham,
sorry.
Jesus.
I think he had hair at the time.
Well, that would have been a long time ago.
Yeah. It was a while ago.
But see, here we go. The transporter, the beekeeper, the mechanic. Mm-hmm. And what's this new one he's got coming out?
The working man.
The working man. The mechanic 2. I'm surprised. It should have been called The Crank.
The Crank, yeah.
And The Crank 2.
They were pretty funny movies, Crank.
Dude, that where he's having sex with his missus in the bus stop and there's just everyone watching and he's just... and then he done it again at the horse track in the second one.
Yeah. Had to keep the heart rate up.
Yeah, had to keep the heart rate up. He's just sitting there, jumper cable on his nipples. I thought it was so good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I'm going to have to rewatch those classics.
Invincible. I, after talking about it last week, went and watched second and third seasons.
Mm-hmm. Same.
What a ride.
Dude, my boy Jackie's like, you have to watch it. And I'm like, well, I've seen the first season, mate. And it was brutal, and I can't really watch it when your brother's home. He's like, but you have to watch it. So I'm like, okay. So I'll put the second season on in the tattoo shop while I was working.
Yeah.
And it was just sort of playing in the background, and there were some key moments where I got to have a glance up, and the ride that I went on for the third season was holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and Jack sat at home yesterday and we watched the finale together.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it was the first time in a while that I've literally screamed and cheered at a TV at a scene.
Yeah. I liked the fact that we got that jump in animation for the last episode. Some great looking shots.
I didn't see that, and that's what I was talking with Jack about yesterday. Like, everyone was complaining online about the animation for the second season, especially the 6th and 7th episode. I didn't run into it. I guess I wasn't watching close enough to see the hiccups in the animation.
Like, it wasn't that bad, but there was scenes where they kind of held on a beat when, like, I think it was Immortal was returning to Earth after confronting Alan.
Yep.
And he just kind of floats away. But instead of kind of getting smaller and zooming out, he just floats towards Earth, and it looks like they've just highlighted that character and dragged him across the screen.
But did you see they actually made fun of that?
Oh, did they?
Did you not see that?
Oh, no, I saw the episode where they're talking about...
Like, you hide the mouth behind the newspaper and you just don't animate stuff from behind. And it's like...
Yeah.
Just making fun of that shit.
Yeah, no, that was good. Bit of
fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. Some of the parodies of mainstay characters throughout this show is one of my favourite things. When he was being thrown between different realities, there was a Spider-Man analogue referring to Batman.
Yes.
There was a few of them.
Dude, Robert Kirkman, I tell you, he's got to be the most wealthy comic book writer of all time at the moment.
He's done pretty well.
Yeah. Just in Walking Dead, in Invincible. Holy shit.
I don't think he has too many other comics. I know he's done a run of Seance Dog.
Dude, I'm going to have to read that.
As for that, I think most of them plays on both. I think there's a Rick Grimes 3000, and it's Rick Grimes in the future with what looks like a lightsaber. And
oh, stop it.
Yeah, like kind of one-shot things.
Yeah.
I think they're his mainstays. I mean, Walking Dead ran for a long time.
Still running.
Invincibles ran for a long time.
Well, Jack was telling me, Tattooist Jack, who works here, he said that because he's really well versed in the books, he said if they keep going at this pace, they'll have 2 more seasons.
Yeah.
So I love that they've got an end in mind. And the premise of, comic books usually go on forever and ever and ever and ever. And when they're done, they just reboot the character and they start from scratch again.
Yeah.
The thing with Invincible, the fact that it's got a start, a middle and an end. you're going to get a wrap-up of the story.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, well, it's got one main arc, doesn't it? That's the premise from the beginning of Viltrumites and their kind of reign over the universe. At some point, they're going to take over or take them down.
Or attempt to.
Yeah, that'll end there. But there's a lot of time to cover between now and then, especially with, I think they mentioned that Nolan said, well, one of the last things Nolan said, there was less than 50 full-blood Viltrumites in the universe.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it more realistic. I did enjoy that little arc of Alan the Alien and Nolan in the
prison.
In the Viltrumite prison.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. As you said, Alan the Alien, he's one of my favourite characters in the entire thing.
Just keeps giving.
Yeah.
And Beast. Battle Beast, dude. Beast, holy shit.
Yeah.
I like, he's just constant rage and wants to bash people.
Do you know anything about the comic run?
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
I went in absolutely blind.
That's probably good because I know what's in store for Battle Beast. And yeah.
Wow.
It could be good or it could be bad. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't a fart by me, by the way.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Who knows?
We had K2SO fly off the shelf last week. We're going to have something else come through that fucking door in a minute.
Oh, I saw there's a crystal over there. What's the deal with that?
Well, yeah. One of the girls, Ebony, brought me down a crystal, and she's got me some
tarot cards.
She got me some blessed tarot cards down there, so just to keep us protected from whatever's down here. But yeah, K2SO. Have you anchored him down this week?
No. If he comes flying at me, and it's
well, you know the worst part. If Optimus comes flying off that shelf, you're going to get a concussion, friend.
I'm more worried about my computer that's sitting right below.
That'll be right. Our insurance isn't good here, by the way.
That's all right. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Oh, here we go. Are you off topic? We'll get back to Invincible in a second.
Yeah.
While I've got this in my mind. Mm-hmm. One Holy Grail movie that can't be rebooted. That shouldn't be rebooted.
Lord of the Rings.
Fucking joke.
Oh, no, you're not a fan, but...
I said one movie, not one rolling piece of trash.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Dude, it's not good.
It's fucking great, that's right.
No, it's not good.
Mate, you would be one of the only people I know that do not like Lord of the Rings, especially somebody who enjoys tabletop games as well.
My friend Emily O'Brien, she hates Lord of the Rings.
Well, she got taste in her ass as well. Sorry.
I don't think she'll watch this, but if she did, she's probably going to headbutt me next time she sees me. She loves Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Set up.
Yeah. Bait and switch.
Yeah.
But, no, come on. One movie. Not one series, one movie, one trilogy, one anything. Go.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, stop it.
Man, like, how could you reboot that? Like, I know there is talk about, I think they're going to make movies in that universe. I don't think they're going to touch and reboot them at all.
Why? Why would you think they wouldn't do them again? Knowing how much they left out of those books, knowing the character depth that are in the books. I hated the books. I'm not going to lie. It was a very in-depth story. Mm-hmm. Characters were deep and broad. Yep. They were massive. Yep. And you're telling me that you can't reboot that series?
No. If you reboot, they wouldn't put Tom Bombadil in the reboot either.
Well, they're making a story with Tom Bombadil in it.
Potentially. But it's going to be a side thing. It's not going to be part of the whole war.
As long as he's not bopping around through the forest singing, "I'm John Bombadil, Bombadil, Bombadil." No, I couldn't. I don't like Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's funny because I read The Lord of the Rings after I saw Fellowship for the first time when it came out.
Right. Okay. So you read the books after.
I read the books after.
Right.
I'd watched the movie, fucking loved it, and was like, I need more. And this is I was in high school, and the most I'd ever read was kind of Goosebumps in primary school.
Same. Yep.
Up until then, had no interest in reading, but I needed to know what happened going forth.
Yep.
So, picked up the book, read the first book. It was a slog, especially for a first book.
Yes.
Funny story. I picked it up, and it was the edition that was the entire Lord of the Rings. So it was all 3 books in one. I'm like, I'm just going to skip through to maybe, I don't know, just this far into it's not the end, so it's not going to ruin the story for me. I've still got, that's probably 5 or 6 chapters left. I just want to read what happens. And no word of a lie, I open it up on the scene where fucking Gollum bites the ring off the finger of fucking Frodo and falls into Mount Doom. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
You dick.
I'm a dick. And like, what happens in the rest of this fucking book? After I eventually read it and found out that
a whole heap of nothing happens.
A whole heap of wrapping up happens. Well thought out kind of wrapping up of a story. It's this epic. I thought it was fantastic. It took me a while to read, but what did I start talking about that for?
Because I asked you for a movie
to reboot. Yeah.
That you can't reboot.
The amount of awards that movie won, the scale of the production, the characters, I really couldn't see some of those characters being recast.
You know, Russell Crowe was originally wanted for fucking V.O. Mortensen's role.
Yeah. Actually, I was actually telling Steph about this. Townsend, not Devin Townsend. He's
a singer,
bro. The one that played Lestat.
Oh yeah.
Stuart Townsend.
Stuart Townsend, that's it.
So he was the one to play Aragorn. They had him on set. That was Warner Brothers wanted it. Apparently, Peter Jackson wanted Viggo Mortensen from the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's why Russell Crowe didn't take it, because he was a fellow New Zealander of Peter Jackson's.
And he knew that Peter Jackson had somebody else in mind, and Warner Brothers kind of pushed for that.
Right.
And he said no because he knew that Peter Jackson, Stuart Townsend was there on the set and was notoriously hard to get along with. Wouldn't come out of his trailer. And
the worst part about that, he still would have got paid.
Yeah.
For the entire movie.
Yeah. Pretty much set him back a little bit, and then something happened, some kind of fallout where they're like, pack your bags, fuck off.
You're a shit actor. Get out.
Pretty much. Peter Jackson got Viggo on the phone and said, hey, can you come do this? He was there within the week. Bam.
Oh, shit.
And just the fact that he would get up, get dressed in his costume, and he would hike to the set. He wouldn't catch the bus or the helicopter or whatever with everybody else.
So that's why he was so shit now, because he was exhausted all the time.
He would hike to set so he'd get that kind of sheen on him,
Instead of a spray bottle?
Yeah, to make it look like he was dirty and living like a ranger on the land and stuff. Pull your fucking head in, cunt. This is a movie of a generation, mate.
Yeah, the fucking forgotten generation. Jesus, we should all forget those movies.
I would like people to kind of... If anyone watches this, weigh in on whether Clint's right or I'm fucking right about Lord of the Rings being one of the greatest movies ever.
The Hobbit was the only movie I've ever walked out on.
Yeah, they can reboot The Hobbit. Just not the original Lord of the Rings.
I thought The Hobbit was better than Lord of the Rings.
You would. You liked Aquaman.
I do. I'm going to rewatch it later. And send you screenshots of it. I'm just going to skip past all the Amber Turd bits.
Yeah. Okay, well, seeing as we're playing this game, what movie or series would you never reboot?
Firefly.
Even if there was a potential for him to continue on and finish that?
Can't do it. Can't do it. Wash is dead. The person who played the preacher is passed away in real life. I think, let's face it, Joss Whedon's not going to be directing anything anytime soon.
It doesn't have to be Joss Whedon.
It's his baby.
I said the cast, though.
And at the moment, Nathan Fillion's pretty booked.
That's true.
Without Wash, you can't have that show.
Okay.
And the fact that he's dead now is kaput. You can't very well, like the way he passed away, the way he died in Serenity, tore my heart out, dude. I think it was one of the first times I've actually, Dot and the Kangaroo was the first time I cried in the movie, but shut up. And this was him getting impaled at the end of Serenity.
Yep.
Still one of the hardest scenes I've ever watched.
Okay.
It's tough.
I get that. We talked about movies that we wouldn't reboot. What movie or series do you want to see rebooted?
I want to see another Blade. And did you see the news? Segway.
No, I did not.
Kevin Feige and Mahershala Ali, I think that, I hope I'm not butchering his name, they are moving forward. They may have found the script. The script.
Good stuff.
So I'm like, cakes and pies. Pumped.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah.
Blade.
Blade.
Now, saying I don't think that would be a reboot. It'd be like a multiversal thing. Because let's face it, Wesley Snipes' Blade is untouchable. That first movie that's up there with Iron Man in the realm of perfect movies, I think.
I think I'd probably go League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes. Yes, sir.
As much as I
Yes,
liked the first one, I would like to see that get more love.
I really would. Yeah.
Today's technology.
I want to see more of that Alan Quatermain story. I want to see that story where he went to the Sahara, to the desert. I want to see where he's gone to Africa.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see more of that movie without Stuart Townsend.
I'm a big fan of whenever they use public domain characters. You
had Nero.
Yeah.
Nemo, sorry.
Nemo. But like in series where they've used them, there's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Did you ever watch Penny Dreadful?
No, I didn't.
It was fantastic. Got cancelled, wrapped up really quick, kind of shit.
Right.
But it was good.
Good show.
Good show.
I watched Grimm.
Grimm, yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
I never watched it.
Wasn't too bad.
But yeah, I kind of like that ensemble of all the. So Universal was going to launch their Dark Universe.
That's right.
And they began that with Dracula.
What Dracula are you talking about?
Was it Dracula 2000? What was it called? Dracula Untold.
Dude, great movie.
Great movie. And at the end, there was the cut scene where he's in the future. So then the next movie that came out was The Mummy. Now, a lot of people thought it was going to be a reboot of the Brendan Fraser thing, and it had Tom Cruise in it.
Russell Crowe.
That played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yep.
So he was going to be the one to assemble this cast.
I was looking forward to that because I didn't mind that movie.
Yeah. And they had it kind of laid out. They had a Wolfman coming in.
Well, there was a not Guillermo del Toro. He played the Collector in Guardians.
He was also in
Snatch
and Sicario.
Oh yes, great movies.
That's a fucking great movie. I'll watch that.
That
again.
end scene was just, again written by Taylor Sheridan, the bloke who done Yellowstone.
Yeah. Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio, yeah. So there was a whole like slate of movies that they were going to bring out. I think there was going to be the Monster of the Black Lagoon, and they were going to do a whole kind of in-universe type thing.
They need to do it.
It died in the ass.
It needs to be done.
It needs to be done. But Russell Crowe's version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was quite good. He didn't have that giant transformation like a Hulk. And he had that kind of, that cat eye kind of glow going on, and very menacing looking aura about him.
Just his accent change was enough.
Yeah, it was.
I liked it.
It was cool. That was kind of a wasted opportunity.
Yeah. And it had such a great cast.
It did. Had big names.
It's such a great cast.
And yeah, I think Tom Cruise probably would have ended up being like the Alan Quatermain kind of character to kind of wrangle these.
Yeah, to run them down into submission.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether they would have been bad guys or what it would have been, because the Dracula character, he was he was a good guy.
Yeah, he wasn't a
bad guy.
No.
And like in The Mummy, Tom Cruise's character went up against the Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been interesting, but we'll never see what happens there.
No.
As well as Penny Dreadful, the way it ended, we'll never see what happened there. It was really good. I'd still recommend watching that because it was fun right up until it ended.
It had that Justin Hartman in it, didn't it?
Yeah, he played, well, I don't want to ruin it for you now, the American in it, because it's set in industrial London.
So was the American a character in, or he was just playing an American?
He's playing an American that is one of those characters. I won't ruin which character he is.
Oh, it's not billed as that at the start. You find out along the way.
Yeah, you find out along the way.
Right, okay.
Ava Green plays kind of a witch in it.
Mm-hmm.
Has some kind of on-again, off-again romance with Satan, pretty much.
Nice.
And yeah...
Satan always gets such a bad rap, man.
Yeah. One of the better kind of contemporary portrayals of Frankenstein's monster too, in it.
Yeah, nice.
Fantastic.
As opposed to being why the opera singing Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah. I actually saw a pretty interesting fact about Mary Shelley, the mother of sci-fi. Mm-hmm. She actually, her husband passed away in a shipwreck, I think it was, and when they cremated him, his heart refused to burn. Basically, it didn't burn in the cremation, and she kept it in her writing desk up until her death. That's pretty metal.
That's metal as fuck.
Yeah, his unburnt heart wrapped in his own poetry. Metal as fuck.
That's metal.
Yeah.
That's fucking metal.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah.
God damn. That's a story, dude.
You can't do that shit these days.
No. Get to jail.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I don't know. Were we talking about Invincible to begin with? I think we were, weren't we?
Mate, this is what happens.
That's what happens, yeah.
So, Invincible. We finished episode 7 with, spoilers, Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, baby. I'd seen a lot of fan casts about who they wanted to play Conquest. I don't think I saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan on that list, but it fucking makes sense. Dude, they put him in there.
All I wanted to see was him brandishing a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire and smacking Invincible with it. Because that's when I stopped watching The Walking Dead, was when Jeffrey Dean Morgan killed Stephen Ewan's character.
You didn't watch the following season? So I watched the following season and then gave up after that when, that kind of confrontation ended. When
they started the season with that scene, Jeffrey Dean Morgan hitting Stephen Ewan over the back of the head with, what's his bat's name?
Lucille.
Mm. And his eyeball just gone. Dude, stuck in my brain for all eternity.
Yeah. The Red Wedding.
When she's just like screaming her head off and she's like, no, and slits her whole throat.
Yeah.
Instant iconic.
Those 2 points I would put down as not saying the moments, but around the moment that TV kind of overtook cinema.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That long form of storytelling that with the production that they're able to put into it these days is next level compared to what we get in movies.
Yep. Well, even TV shows these days are more expensive than movies. Now, TV shows where movie stars went to retire, basically.
Yep.
That's, back in the day. Now, if you're in one of these long-form TV shows, mate, that's your meal ticket for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
You look at the Peaky Blinders of it all, Cillian Murphy, dude, one of the biggest actors of our time right now. That had Tom Hardy in it, for Christ's sake. You've got all these massive stars doing these TV shows. Jason Momoa was basically a non-talking role in Game of Thrones.
Yep.
It's just TV shows have just gone off into the stratosphere. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. True Detective with
Oh my
Woody
God.
Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, hectic. And like every season they've brought somebody kind of big in to star.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster's in the last one.
Muhammad Ali was in the second one.
Yep.
I keep butchering his name. I'm going to have to look up how to pronounce that.
I'll just do a voiceover of like a really bad
Muhammad
audio.
Ali.
The second season had Colin Farrell.
Yes.
It had Amy Adams.
Dude.
Amy McAdams.
Amy
Sorry.
McAdams, yeah.
And Vince Vaughn. Like, though that show dropped off on the second season.
Still big stars, man.
If you go back and watch it and try not to compare it to the first one, it's still great TV.
Well, the writer, I can't for the life of me remember the writer's name, and I should because he was absolutely incredible. He had 10 years to write that first season.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, dude, it was so good, we need another one. You've got 6 months.
Yeah, you've got a year to turn around. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But, dude, I've only watched that first season once,
God,
and it's still with me.
Yeah.
It's that good.
Yeah. I don't know whether it would... not saying it wouldn't improve on a second watch, but I don't think you need to. Like
No.
it's deep. It's got a deep cut to it.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming if you go back and watch it again. But it would be good to kind of just see the interaction between Woody Harrelson and
His brother.
his brother.
What did Woody Harrelson say? Oh, my mum got up to some shit when she was younger.
Yeah. Now, was that a joke or was that proven? Did I dream that it was proven lately?
I think they want to do a DNA test, but they just haven't done it yet.
They should.
But
Maybe
they really
they're
should.
scared to.
They should make a documentary of it, dude. Go and interview his their parents and shit.
That might be in the works, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But that like you said, that first season was amazing. And again, this whole Harry Potter saga that's going to come out, dude, it's going to be bullshit because they're going to throw all the money at this thing.
Yeah.
And they're not going to cast, they might cast beginner actors again like they did with the original movies.
Yep.
But when you see John Lithgow as Dumbledore, and you have watched Ted Lasso, greatest TV show of all time, by the way. The bloke who plays Roy Kent is Hagrid.
Oh, fucking for real?
Yeah, man. So they've cast Brett Goldstein as Hagrid. They're the only two castings at this stage that I know of.
Didn't they cast Snape? Haven't they cast Snape?
Oh, dude, who they cast as Snape?
Yeah, and they've cast Snape, Papa Assidu.
What was that? Andre St. Pierre was They wanted him for James Bond as well. I thought he was going to be Snape.
Yeah, okay.
Another British actor. He was in Dungeons and Dragons movie that just came out. When I was seeing it, he was going, "Oh fuck yes, great actor." I don't give a shit about what size you are. They can edit shit. Or you just got to look at Hagrid in the movies. Yeah. He wasn't that big.
Well, no, like the dude that played him, he was a normal sized dude.
He's Coltrane.
And they just made him look better.
Yeah, they I don't care what colour your skin is, dude.
Yeah.
You do a good job.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Do it. Nail it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, the colour of skin doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
As long as they're casting those people for the right reasons and not just trying to...
You couldn't cast Timothée Chalamet as Black Panther. Sorry, you couldn't.
No.
Even though he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But there are roles like Severus Snape. Fucking oath. Nail it. Crush it. Are we playing footsies? Is that your thongs?
That's my thongs, yeah.
Oh.
It's not my toes.
Yeah, dude, I'm all for it. And this is the thing. This long, they're going to set it out over 6 years. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm keen.
I think as the main trio, they will have to cast young, generally unknown people. Because they're going to have to grow up as they film this. Yeah. So, actually, we're talking about the other episode when I said that they cast Dumbledore, John Lithgow as Dumbledore. He was talking about the first Rat Party. So he will be 80 after the first season. So he's old enough. You had said that he was a bit young to be
No,
Dumbledore.
No. I don't give a fuck that he's young for Dumbledore. I just want him to be alive in 6 years. That's all. Yeah. I just want him to be alive at the end.
I mean, they recast him, Dumbledore, 3 movies in the original movies because the original one died anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's like Dumbledore is almost immortal. Like he's like 250 years old. You don't have to cast an older gentleman as Dumbledore, and you can age an actor up. And this is where I was saying, like, I would have loved Cillian Murphy for Severus Snape, but I also would have loved him as Dumbledore. You can age people up. Don't hire an 80-year-old actor who's going to be busy for the next 10 years filming these movies, and they're not these TV shows, and they're not going to be. It's not going to be easy going.
No.
It's going to be long days. You're going to be shooting the shit out of this show because each episode is going to be an hour.
Maybe 8 episodes a season. But yeah, I look forward to it. I that's something I am happy that they're rebooting. I'm not unhappy that they're rebooting it.
I'm not unhappy either.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing. They're not going to take the movies away from us.
Yeah. They're
not going to take that away.
No.
And I'm choking up. They did the documentary where they did the whole rap thing, and it was just before Mr. Coltrane passed away. And it's like, when my kids look back, Hagrid will still be there. I won't be, but he will.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off. You can't say that shit. That it'll always be there. And me and my family watch Harry Potter every year without fail. Mm-hmm. It's always getting rewatched. If it's a rainy day, we got nothing to do, Harry Potter goes on.
So how does Lowe go with the last ones, or he doesn't watch them?
No, he watches them.
Yeah, okay.
I hope they bring in some, have you read the Harry Potter books?
Yeah.
Well, the meat cleavers to shins and shit at the end, I hope we see some of that. They go sort of dark in the last couple of books. So let's, fingers crossed, they keep that up.
Yeah, fantastic series. And there's a bit left out from the books in the movies. It'll be
so much.
Yeah, it'll be good to see a few. I can see why they cut some of the scenes out too, because they're smaller, didn't play much into the main storyline. But to see those moments in the TV show will be great.
Yeah, like I want to see more of the fact that the food isn't magically appearing on your things. It's prepared by house elves.
House elves downstairs, yeah.
They're not just house elves, they're slaves.
Indentured slaves,
They're slaves.
Yeah.
And then Hermione's the one that comes through and she goes, I want to have them to have a union. Yeah. They need to be paid for what they do because they do absolutely everything at Hogwarts. Mm-hmm. Considering the if the Weasleys can have magic in their house cleaning it, why the hell can't Hogwarts have magic clean it? They don't need slaves. But I want to see, they deserve, give a nod that, yes, they are indentured and they are taken advantage of by this school and that there is somebody that's going to stand up and go, hey, enough's enough. These people need rights and shit. And I'm like, rightfully so, that was left out of the movie. Jesus. It's not that shocking, Jeremy. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, that went down the wrong way.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are things that they can actually delve into in the movie, in the TV show, which is going to be great. Dude, we started on Invincible again.
We did.
God, this show is just the one that keeps on giving.
I wanted to talk about the cast.
Yes.
Robert Kirkman wrote Walking Dead and Invincible.
Yep.
And a lot of the actors out of Walking Dead have come back and did voices. Some of them have done only one character, like Lauren Cohen did War Woman. So she played, was it Maggie?
She played Maggie, yeah. Maggie. Stephen Ewan's wife.
Yeah, Stephen Ewan obviously voices Mark Invincible. We had Jeffrey Dean Morgan rock up as Conquest in the end.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the amount of people that have turned up to voice some characters in this. Ben Schwartz has turned up to voice a whole heap of characters. funny motherfucker. J.K. Simmons voices Omni-Man, Nolan. You got
Yep.
Sandra Oh coming in as Debbie.
Yep.
Mark Hamill even came.
Dude,
even
massive
plays Art.
cast.
Yeah.
The bloke who I absolutely fell in love with, Rexplode, I hated him in the first 2 seasons. In this season, he actually come about, and I was really...
Redemption arc.
Absolutely. Jason Mantzoukas, who plays him,
Yep.
mate, this bloke is just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He plays Agent Pimento on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He plays Pam on Bad Grandpa. And every show he's in just sells it.
Yeah.
I'll watch anything of him in it. He's hilarious. Even on the red carpet for Invincible, just the shit he was saying. Like, he was like, oh, you know, there's going to be 2 episodes that are strictly musicals. There's going to be a jazz one and then he's like, and then there's going to be a black and white version. There's one that's going to have no dialogue. It's just going to be all action, no dialogue. And it's like just making shit up on the red carpet, and everyone's like, what? And he's like, yeah, we can't talk about the other stuff in it, but this is the stuff we're allowed to talk about. And it's like just a whole heap of bullshit.
Just taking the piss.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a piss taker.
Yeah.
So, Invincible, season 3. Give me your final thoughts. Rate it out of 10.
I say this every time. Every time somebody asks me to rate something, there's always kind of caveat to it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just finished watching it yesterday. Got pretty invested. What do I put it up against? I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd probably say out of 5. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's solid. Yeah. Yeah. Good fun.
I went into it holding back. I'm like, oh, you know, it's just, the animated shows. I'm not really. I tell a lie. The DC animated shows and movies, top tier. This one is up there, dude. Yeah. I put this up there with like the Killing Joke, like the animated Killing Joke movie. That there is, I put it up there with that. And the fact that it's, you know, a 5-season run and we're going to get an ending, hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. But yeah.
I think one of the things I do like about the most, I just want to put this last bit in there, the needle drops in it, some of the music in it.
Dude.
Sensational.
9 Inch Nails at the end.
Yeah.
Killed it. As soon as I come on, I'm like, perfect.
Even the Aussie band Emil and the Sniffers, at one point I was like, holy fuck, I didn't expect to hear them in here. Yeah, great.
Emil and the Sniffers. I'll pay that. But yeah, mate, absolutely. It's been huge. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been fun coming here again, and hopefully the audio's been better. If you just want to join us on YouTube or Instagram to kind of have your say on what we've talked about, you're welcome.
Comment away. Like and subscribe if you can. Even if you just give us a share. We'd really appreciate it. We're just 2 middle-aged guys just having fun. Peace.